Hello everyone, welcome to Redmen TV. Some breaking transfer news. I'm Paul Machin, Chris Pajak, Steve Hoard join me in the great sunny city of Liverpool outside the exhibition centre. We're going to chat Jeremy Frimpong in a moment, but yeah, in a week's time or so, this is where we're going to be on the 24th of May. We're going to be inside there performing for the Red Weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the show goes on, of course. But yeah, thought we'd come down and check it out and just show everyone how wonderful it all is to be in Liverpool on a beautiful sunny day. The news then, I'm going to read it from Pletigol, lads. Friend of the show, Pletigol. Florian Plettenberg. Concrete talks between Liverpool and Jeremy Frimpong have taken place as reported yesterday. These are ongoing as LFC are still pushing. Arne Slot is a big fan. However, there is still no full verbal agreement and Liverpool have not yet made contact with Bayer. Other Premier League clubs are also interested in Frimpong, with Liverpool currently in a very good position. Frimpong wants to leave Leverkusen with a suitable offer and has informed the club. The other Patrick Berger said that. Sky Sports are reporting that as well. Steve, yeah, it feels like this has actually got some legs to it.
Yeah, these things often do come from Germany, don't they, before they come from England and the English reporters. It absolutely feels like there's legs to it. It ticks all the boxes for Liverpool transfer, really. You know, the age profile, the release clause, the type of club that you're buying from. So yeah, it feels like there's a lot of legs to this one. Obviously, Liverpool in the market for a right back, and we all know that our one's leaving us controversially. So yeah, a lot of it does make sense. And listen, it's an interesting one. You know, he's a very attacking player. I always thought if Arne Slot wanted the right back, he would want more of a, I don't know. Well, Conor Bradley, really, a bit defensively sound, can attack, more of your traditional right back. Jeremy Frimpong is not that. He is a very attack-minded right back. But if that's what Arne Slot wants, listen, the fella's just won the title, isn't he? He can do what he wants with his team for the next few years. He's earned himself that bit of grace. But it's also great news, and this is probably, you know, what winning the title early does. It allows you to be focused on next season. You know, he's in Ibiza. The lads are all on a boat in Dubai. Richard Hughes is on the phone sorting all these transfers out. This is the massive advantage Liverpool have got. We know we're in the Champions League. We know we're the champions. We can try and get our business done early, and it feels like that's what they're trying to do.
I think for me, like I've just done a deep dive on Redmen Plus about Jeremy Frimpong and how he could fit in along with Kerkez and stuff like that. I'm completely torn as to whether this is a good move for Liverpool in terms of who he is as a player in Slot's side. I think as a player, he is absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to phrase it sort of this way. If we had Trent Alexander-Arnold, you would not buy Jeremy Frimpong. Okay. And that's because I don't think he offers so much more than Trent. Okay. In many ways. Now, because we won't be having Trent Alexander-Arnold, you do need a new right back because, as Steve mentioned, there's a release clause, for roughly 35 million. That's what Liverpool have been talking about, isn't it? They've been talking to Leverkusen, by the rumours anyway, about the structure of that release clause and how that would need to be paid and etc. etc.
So like the Szoboszlai stuff, we know we paid up front for that one, but it's nice to know every now and again where you can phase the payments instead. Exactly.
And I think obviously the headline figure being 35 million is exactly where Liverpool would be wanting to get this deal, because this feels, and we talk about this every summer, don't we, like it's an opportunistic signing. Like this isn't probably, if Arne Slot's building his perfect right back, Jeremy Frimpong probably isn't it. But at 35 million quid, with the talent that he's got as a footballer, you might look at that and go, how can I integrate him into this Liverpool side? And what do we need to do to allow us to use that weaponry? Because we were looking at some of the stats around him, right? And in terms of progressive passes received, I think last season he was receiving 14 passes. So his starting position is essentially where Mo Salah's is. I'll give you an example. Mo Salah's received 12 per 90 this season. Frimpong received 14 last season. Obviously he's playing as a wing back, he's using that space further up the pitch. It would probably require a completely different sort of build-up play for Liverpool. You know, maybe it's two centre midfielders and you look to pop him out, hit that space, go forward, carry the ball, etc. Get him into those positions where he is affecting the match. What does that mean for Salah? Does he cut inside a little bit more? Does it actually benefit Salah? Because my initial thought is like, well, where's he go if he's in Salah's space? But does it benefit him? Because when Salah plays with Conor Bradley, he's benefited there by Conor Bradley being there because he's got that inside run, that outside run. Trent used to do that. Trent doesn't do that anymore, and I think Salah struggles a little bit more. Yeah. So you've got to replace Trent and what he does, and he's a unicorn, you're not going to do it that way. Frimpong just gives you another weapon, doesn't he, where you could take it and go, let's make use of this, lad.
Yeah, and look, I think from an offensive perspective, Steve, he'll do the things that Conor Bradley's doing. Because Conor Bradley is an offensive, pacey fullback. He wants to get on the ball. He wants to run with the ball. So actually, the attacking side of things is replicable in that regard. I think what we forget sometimes is we still haven't got a total clear picture of what Slot wants. We know what he wanted in previous clubs, and we know what he had, which of course was not his choice. It was what he's inherited. What we got told, particularly from Feyenoord, was it was the wingers. It was he wants lots of wingers so he can rotate. He wants loads of pace. But maybe, particularly because you've got Mo Salah, you want to just surround Salah with pace. Maybe you want to put more lads. Maybe this is the reason why Harvey Elliott is kind of not being used in the same way. There's a chance where if you've got Szoboszlai and Bradley, and or Frimpong on that right hand side, we talk about carrying Salah a lot, and Salah said that he's basically told Slot, carry me and I'll score loads of goals. Now, look, I don't want to throw shade at Trent in any other, as a footballer, but we have made allowances for what Trent's weaknesses are, and in terms of things like recovery pace and position and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see how what are you giving up, because Trent is actually an underrated defender, but that space behind him has definitely been an issue. Well, it's not going to be more of an issue, I don't think, with someone necessarily like Frimpong if he's got the ability to actually get back in there more quickly. So we're going to learn, I think, Steve, more and more what Slot actually wants, because it's his first proper transfer window.
Yeah, and like I say, this kid has played right back. He was a right back at Celtic. It's interesting because, yeah, he was a wing back at Leverkusen, but that worked for Leverkusen. Arne Slot has changed people's positions and made them better. Imagine 12 months ago, Saturday going, Ryan Gravenberch is probably going to be the best number 6 in the league. We'd have all laughed at you, you know what I mean? But that's what he became under Arne Slot. He's clearly a very good coach, him and his coaching staff, again, the Dutch connection there working well. So there's lots to like. I think there's lots to like about it. I also think it's worth mentioning Liverpool do lose Mohamed Salah this season for a lot of AFCON. Like Frimpong can play right wing as well. There's a world where Conor Bradley and Frimpong are in the same team if we do sign him and get this deal done. So there's a lot going. So yeah, I get Chris's point a little bit where you say it might not be what Slot wants, but I just don't know. He had Trent Alexander-Arnold, and therefore you make allowances because he's Trent Alexander-Arnold. You have to, because he's too good not to. He might want this might be exactly what he wants from his fullbacks. He might just want bombing on Andy Robbo of old on both sides. That type of fullback. So it's hard to know.
It's really interesting watching Arsenal at the weekend. They're dead set on inverted fullbacks still, aren't they? Like Lewis Skelly was playing centre mid for so much of that. Zinchenko comes on and does it still for that. We haven't seen really any hint of that from Slot. So that interesting picture of what fullbacks are going to look like. And if you had to buy anything, if you had to say what was top of our priority list, people might talk about positions. It's pace for me. Yep. It's pace. We're such a slow squad. You can spot Szoboszlai and Darwin Núñez are our fastest players. Diaz has definitely lost a yard of pace since the injury because he's not electric anymore. Jota never really had pace, and he's certainly not gotten faster since his injuries. So where are you going to get that from? Gakpo's got wheels. He's a decent pace lad. Salah's losing it, of course.
No, Frimpong's a speedster.
100%. And then if you're getting someone like Kerkez in for left back, well, there you go. There's your injection of energy and pace. Bradley and Frimpong as right back options, potentially a Kerkez, and then you've got Robertson, or Tsimikas, whoever they choose to keep. As a more archetypal, typical left back, you're probably looking a year or two to add someone else with a bit more in that. But if you're evolving it, getting as much pace into that squad for as little money as possible, Frimpong ticks so many of the boxes for me.
Exactly. I just wanted to sort of back my point up from earlier. Is I don't think this is a bad signing. Yeah. What I'm saying is I have fears over it as well, and I think that's okay.
Josh isn't having them, is he?
No, I don't think so either. And I think for me, it's exactly the same. He probably wouldn't be what Arne Slot would perfectly want, and you took that as a negative, but I actually see the positive in it because, like you mentioned, the coaching element of Slot, he sat down with Trent at the start of the season. You change your body position by 8 degrees, all that nonsense, I'll make you a better defender. You're absolutely spot on with Gravenberch and stuff like that, how he's made him a better player. Curtis Jones, I think, is a better player now. He understands it. You could look around our squad and go, loads of these are better footballers, and Frimpong has the raw materials to do what none of those lads in the back can do. and that is bring the speed, bring the attacking stuff, everything else that he's got. If you can teach him that, if you want to teach him that, then that's brilliant. But I think quite often I look at transfers, and this might be me talking badly about it, but you're almost looking, well, how's it plug and play? And this isn't plug and play, and that's what I'm trying to say. So something's going to change, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, you're right. But also, like I say, it could be the other way. I'm going on to but like it might have just been this is what he really wanted. He actually wanted more of a Conor Bradley. But actually, Trent Alexander-Arnold is just that good that you just have to get him in the team and you have to make allowances and you've got to set your team up around him.
If you wanted more Conor Bradley, you just use Conor Bradley.
Yeah, but of course he will, and he might. And he
so much Conor Bradley you can use, though, isn't there?
And as I say, and also he just always injured, and that's a problem. So what Frimpong does, and it was kind of my next point a little bit, is that he has got another position as well. So if you say to him, come in, we will use you as a right back, but also, mate, there's a very good chance we'll give you some other games where you can play as a winger. Mo Salah is going to AFCON, we'll lose him for all of December when you play, 10 Premier League games or something. That's an easier sell, so we can be both, because when you're building a squad and you're only allowed so many, and again he counts as homegrown, which is massive in this conversation as well, you do have to have some positional flexibility, and the fact that he can do 2 or 3 jobs. So if you're losing, for example, maybe Joe Gomez might go, for example. You're losing a centre back and a right back. You're bringing a lad in who's a right back and a winger, so that if you just buy a centre back, it all kind of the jigsaw pieces all kind of fit together. You can't have 2 for every position, and that's all they do. You do have to have some flexibility. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
If he doesn't want that type of fullback, I just don't think they'd buy him. And also secondary, he'd be playing Quansah more at right back, and he would. And you've got Quansah and Gomez there. If you don't want a player who's an attacking threat, all the pace and front foot first, it's like we say all the time, you can coach defence, but you can't really teach someone. You can't teach someone to do the 100 metres in 10 seconds if you've just not got it, and you can't. And that attacking verve and flair is basically something that you can sharpen, but you've either got it or you've not really. I always think you're better off, if that's what you want, then that indicates that to me, because we've got no shortage of lads who can do a decent job at right back if we really wanted to. Look, we're speculating on it like it's actually happening, and it might not happen because that's the nature of football. But it is, yeah, it's Liverpool. But yeah, actually to have these sort of rumours that really feel like there's substance to them, that's been the main one for me so far. When this came back out a week or 2 ago, we did it a couple of months ago, and I remember thinking that's got all the hallmarks of a very, very Liverpool move. So yeah, in terms of very, very Liverpool moves, then we mentioned it. The Red Weekender is coming. The Parade Weekend, the 23rd, 24th and 25th of May to here, the Exhibition Centre in Liverpool. In fact, I will just encourage Joe, I haven't warned him about this, but how free can you move the camera? Reasonably, let's go this way. So what you'll see is obviously you've got the M&S Bank Arena, which is further down the way. The Albert Dock is further beyond that. So you've got the beautiful waterfront and the Mersey around us as well. And yeah, we're going to be coming. We're going to be bringing the party. I've got the boys here. Look at them. Look at them. Look at them, wonderful human beings that they are. Yeah, so we've got great music from the Ragamuffins. We've got DJ Harry Mack. We have got the Zootons as well, one of the premier Scouse bands. And, of course, the headline for us is not just us 3 going on and doing our usual laugh shtick and taking the piss on stage. Kenny Dalglish, Kelly Cates, the Dalglish family, doing Family Fortunes. If you haven't seen our Instagram post yet, Les Dennis will be hosting. He's done a little bit of something for it as well. So if you don't get that reference, ask like your mum, your dad and your uncle, because they will get it. But what it guarantees is fun. You're going to see the Dalglishes like you've never seen them before. We're going to have a great laugh. It's a huge party. It's 2 till 7 on that Saturday. So honestly, come down, fill your boots, whether you're in Liverpool or you just want to come down to Liverpool, or you're already coming to Liverpool and you're looking for ways to fill your time. Trust me, the redweekender.com is going to be the one for you. But yeah, tickets are selling fast. Make sure you grab yours while you can. Do not miss out, because it is the ultimate FOMO moment and what it promises to be a famous weekend in the history of this city and Liverpool Football Club as well. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on the Jeremy Frimpong stuff in the comments section underneath. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you at the Red Weekender.